took a look at Forbes' top 50 most successful creators of 2023 to answer some burning questions. Which platform is the most profitable to be on? Which platforms are creators running from? And what do all of these content creators have in common? As always, timestamps are down below, and let's jump right into it. Forbes released their list of the 50 top most influential creators of 2023. Among this list are creators like Mr. Beast, Marcus Brownlee, Charli D'Amelio, KSI, Alex Earl, and many more. The Forbes article takes a look at each creator's overall earnings, follower count, engagement rate, and entrepreneur score, and then ranks them from 1 to 50. But if you're anything like me, I had more questions than answers after looking at this article. First of all, what is this entrepreneur score? And why does it only go up to 4? Unless it's out of 5, then I missed something. I want to know what makes these creators so successful and what all of them have in common. So what did I do? I did what any loving number lover, why is that so hard to say? Number lover. I did what any number loving nerd would do, and I spent 8 hours researching and creating my own spreadsheet to study the top 50 creators of all time. And this is what I discovered. First things first, of the top 50 creators, I feel like there are a few outliers that I want to point out before talking about data so that we have some context as to what or who we're working with. And what do I mean by outliers? Well, 5 of the 50, I'm not sure if you would consider them to be creators. And this is not me diminishing their success at all or saying that they don't deserve a spot on this list, because obviously they are crushing it and are way more successful than I am. I just think that we all might have different definitions of what a content creator is. So I'll talk about these 5 people, and you can decide for yourself whether you think it makes sense for them to be on the top 50 content creator list, or do they deserve a spot on another top 50 list. Elliot Tebele ranked number 7. And if that name doesn't sound familiar to you, then maybe Jerry does. I don't cuss, so this is gonna be hard to talk about. It's F-U-C-K. Jerry does. Tebele started posting memes to Tumblr in 2011 and then gradually moved his memes over to Instagram, where 5 years later, he's now running the largest meme page on Instagram and is known for his popular card game, What Do You Meme? While Elliot himself has 137,000 followers on Instagram, Forbes used his business page numbers on their article, pulling his follower account from Jerry and What Do You Meme? So what do you think? Is he himself an influential creator, or do you consider his page to be more of a business page? And if creator, do you think that the creators of games like Red Flags, Never Have I Ever, He's a 10 But, do you think those creators were considered for the top 50? Huda Kattan ranked number 15, started a beauty blog in 2010. In 2013, decided to launch Huda Beauty to sell false lashes through Sephora. If you use makeup, then you've probably heard of the brand Huda Beauty, but maybe not Huda Kattan herself. The Forbes article counted the Huda Beauty business followers in her stats at 53 million followers, which is the dominant platform for her instead of her personal page, which only has 3 million followers. So while she did start as a blogger, she quickly pivoted to business owner in her early years. So what do you think, creator or business? And if creator, do you think other owners of beauty brands like Tarte, Urban Decay, KVD Beauty, etc. were considered for the top 50? Druski, ranked at number 20, is an American comedian and actor. He is known for his sketch comedy Could Have Been Records and for collaborating with various musicians in music videos, including J. Carlo, Drake, Lil Yachty, and others. The question is, do you think creators are considered creators if their careers started in Hollywood before becoming a content creator? And if yes, should the Kardashians be included on this list? Speaking of a career starting in Hollywood, next up we have Miss Madison Beer, ranking at number 38. Beer has been in the music industry for more than a decade and was actually scouted by Justin Bieber in 2012 at just 13 years old when she first became a viral sensation. Since then, she has released over 20 singles, an album, an EP, so again, content creator or Hollywood figure. Finally, Nick DiGiovanni ranked at number 35. While Nick has certainly made a name for himself as a creator on YouTube, his start may not be a recipe most people can easily replicate. DiGiovanni first became well known when he competed on season 10 of MasterChef. After his season aired, he went over to YouTube to post his MasterChef finale dessert, and since then he's been posting consistently to his platform and collaborating with people like Gordon Ramsay, Marshmello, and many more. So, content creator or Hollywood figure? Ultimately, I pass this question off to you. What are the qualifications of being considered a content creator? Does Hollywood assistance disqualify you? If people know your business, but they don't know your name, does that disqualify you? I honestly don't know, which is why I wanted to include this in this video to hear everybody's thoughts on this topic, especially if you're an aspiring creator yourself. And if you are a creator, business, or entrepreneur, you're going to love the video of this sponsor who is helping creators make money utilizing the power of UGC. And that sponsor is Hubspot. I've been working with Hubspot for over a year, and I genuinely love partnering with them on my channel because they are constantly churning out free resources for business owners, like this ultimate UGC guide that teaches you everything that you need to know to unlock the power of UGC for your business. So through this guide, you'll learn the do's and don'ts of UGC, how to design a UGC strategy and select the best UGC platform, and of course, best practices as you start implementing your UGC strategy. One of my most popular videos on my YouTube channel the past few months has been my UGC video. So I feel like this free guide comes at the perfect time. This is over 20 pages of free goodness. So if you want to learn more about UGC, I'll be sure to leave a link down below where you can download this resource. Thank you again, HubSpot, for sponsoring this video. And now let's get into some numbers based off of what we know from the Forbes article. First up, earnings. On average, the creators on this list are making $14 million, with the top earner being Mr. Beast with $82 million in income, and our bottom earner being Drea Knows Best with $1 million of revenue. For followers, on average, these top creators have 52,374,000 followers, with the most followed being Mr. Beast, again, ranked in #1 position for this list, with 312 million followers, and the least followed, ranked in #26 position, Tinks at 2 million followers. For engagement rate, the average rate for these creators is a 4.19% engagement rate. Our top performer is Kai Cenat, ranked at number 44 with a 25.75% engagement rate, which is just far above the next creator being Michael Lee at 10.5% engagement rate. The lowest engagement rate being Nick Merckx, ranked at number 39 with a 0.25% engagement rate. Now, the average entrepreneur score for this list is a 2.98, which again, we don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Like, at least include in your article, what is an entrepreneur score? How did you come up with that? Where did that number come from? It bothers me. Let's move on. So based off of all of that information alone, what can we learn? First of all, followers do not equal money. For example, we have Jake Paul, who has 66 million followers and makes $34 million. Whereas a creator like Madison, who has more than 2 times his follower count, 142 million followers, she's only earning $6 million as a creator. And by the way, when I'm saying they only have 1 million followers, they're only making 6 million, that is not me diminishing how crazy high those numbers are. I'm not trying to do that. It's a huge accomplishment. I'm using it in the context of the numbers that I studied compared to the creators on this list, not compared to worldwide creators, okay? Let's just get that straight. I think I've said only 2 times now. Just wanna set the record straight. Another example could be Elliot Tebele and Michaela Najira, who both have 17 million followers. However, Tebele is making $30 million and Najira is making $7 million. So just because somebody has more followers, that does not necessarily mean they're making more money. Another thing that I want to point out is the average engagement rate being about 4%. I think a lot of creators are constantly worried about their engagement rate or posts not performing well, when in reality, some of the best best, most successful creators have a 4% engagement rate, which, by the way, industry standard for brands and what brands are looking for is 3%. So if you have a 3% and above, you're doing fine. You're great. Now, I did want to take things a little bit deeper with data. Like, how long have these creators been posting? What's the most common platform that's being used right now? What platform is the least most popular? What industry are these creators in? I had so many questions that the article obviously did not get into. So I went and found the answers so that you don't have to. You're welcome. Years online. I think I was most excited for this category because sometimes we see the success of creators and immediately start comparing, but there is so much that we don't see. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that had been happening or brewing for years that just go unnoticed for some. First thing I wanted to know was how long each of these creators have been creating. I went back to look at each creator to see when they first started posting as a creator. This is what I found. 4% of the creators have been posting consistently for roughly 2 years. This is where we have the creators who have recently popped off or been on our radar through TikTok, like Vivian2, Your Rich BFF, and Matt Rife. Next, 38% of the creators have been posting online for about 3 to 5 years. And of this group that's been posting for 3 to 5 years, 90% of them blew up due to TikTok. Next, 18% of the creators have been posting between 6 to 9 years, and the biggest percentage is 40% of the top 50 creators have been creating and posting for over 10 years. Mr. Beast, 11 years, KSI, 12 years, Jake Paul, 10 years, and Rhett and Link, who are ranked at the number 4 position, have been posting to YouTube for 17 years. On average, these top creators have been in the social media space for 7.7 years, which honestly makes me feel a little bit better about myself considering I started posting to this channel about 3 to 4 years ago. So I have some time. Catch me in the top 50 Forbes list in 10 years. Coming for ya. Now, something to note here for the years online section. This does not count years of experience a creator has in their field. For example, Matt Rife blew up practically overnight on TikTok. So while his years online is considered 2 years, he actually has over 11 years of experience doing comedy shows and stand-up comedy. Same thing with Nick DiGiovanni. While he's been posting online as a creator for 4 years, he's been studying food officially for 8 years. So I think what we can learn from this is that it takes time to build what appears to be overnight success. There's a lot of time that goes into mastering a craft or getting more experience in your field. And so don't be discouraged if you've been posting to YouTube for a year and haven't seen this overnight result. A lot of these creators were posting for years before they saw that success. So just don't give up. You are enough. Thank you. Now let's take a look at takeoff platform because I wanted to know what platform helped each of these creators take off, blow up, go viral. This is what I found. 40% of the top creators blew up on TikTok, 26% blew up on YouTube, 8% on Vine, 8% on Twitch, 6% with a blog, 6% with the help from Hollywood, 4% on Instagram, and 2% through podcast. One thing that I found super interesting from this, if you're a fellow content creator, you might be surprised like I am, was Instagram was on the bottom, below a blog, below Twitch, below Vine. But we didn't stop there. From there, I wanted to know, okay, they blew up on that platform, but are they still posting to it? What do these creators consider to be their main platform or their current platform? To decide this, I went to each of their social channels to look at both follower numbers and how active they are on that channel. So if they have the most followers on YouTube, but haven't posted to it in 5-10 months, I didn't consider that to be their main platform anymore. So this is what I found. 46 of creators consider TikTok to be their main platform. 38% have YouTube as their main platform, 10% use Instagram, 4% Twitch. And there was actually one creator who is not currently active or posting to any platform, so that's why there's that mysterious little sliver there. If you want to know where that sliver would go, normally I'd categorize them into YouTube, because they blew up on YouTube, they're most known for YouTube, but they aren't active there, so I just didn't know where to put them. Some observations. A lot of Vine creators either went to TikTok or YouTube once Vine fell off the face of the earth. Blog creators, or anyone who had blown up through blogs, now use Instagram as their main platform. And while we did see a spike in Instagram users, so we have 10% of creators posting to Instagram as their main platform right now, I do want to point out that of the people that are in that 10%, none of them blew up on Instagram. Like Madison, she blew up on TikTok, but right now she's posting mostly to Instagram, which is why I categorized her into Instagram being her most active platform. The biggest relationship and dynamic that I see happening is between the platforms TikTok and YouTube. A lot of creators who post to TikTok are also posting to YouTube and vice versa. It appears to be a really strong combo for creators where it was hard for me to decide, do I categorize this person as a YouTube creator, TikTok creator? That seems to be the most popular dynamic that's happening right now. Now that we know which platforms creators are most active on, I wanted to figure out, based off of the income that was reported for these creators on the Forbes article, what's the average income for each platform? So I took a look at the most recent data of the list of creators and what they consider their current active platform to be, and then organized, okay, these creators are most active to YouTube, this is their listed income. These creators are most active to TikTok, this is their listed income, to figure out the average income for each of these platforms, and this is what I found out. Creators who have Instagram listed as their most active platform right now are averaging $8,840,000. Creators who have TikTok as their most active platform are averaging $9,219,000. Twitch creators are averaging $9,850,000, and YouTube being the highest earned platform for creators, coming in at a whopping $21,268,000. All of this information was leaving me again with more and more questions, like where is their money coming from? I wanted to do like a deep dive on how much creators are getting paid for like brand partnerships, but that ended up being like so much information. I feel like I had to save it for a separate video of like how much creators are getting paid, because you have the category of Instagram posts, TikTok posts, YouTube collaborations. Like it was a whole other beast. So if we're not taking a look at brand collaborations, I was curious, are these creators just like really great at having a strong personal brand and making money through their personal brand? Or do these creators own other businesses? Are they also business owners in some ways? So I took a look into each creator's net worth to see how many of them are also business owners. This is what I learned. 62% of the creators own businesses outside of their personal brands, while 38% do not. However, of the 38% who do not own another business, that doesn't mean their personal brand isn't set up brilliantly. For example, Preston Plays. This family doesn't technically like own another business or invest in other businesses, but they do have 8 different YouTube channels generating 8 different income streams and reaching 8 different types of audiences. They're also selling toys in stores and games, and so the way the business is set up is brilliant, but there's no separate business entity that they have invested in. So I didn't include them in the business owners category. Now, of the 62% of creators who do own businesses, how many businesses do they own or co-own? 51.6% of these creators own or co-own one other business. 25.8% own 3 businesses. 9.7% own 2 other businesses. 6.5% own 4, and 6.5% own 5. If you're like, holy cow, how are these creators owning 5 businesses? An example of a creator who owns 5 businesses, we have KSI, who not only has his own personal brand that he's profiting from, but he is the CEO of Misfits Boxing and the co-owner of Prime Hydration, 19 Vodka. Do I say 19 Vodka or is it XIX? vodka. I'm gonna say 19. 19 vodka, Sidemen clothing, and a restaurant chain known as Sides. And of course, this is probably why he's ranked number 2 on the top 50 list. So our final question remains. What is the number one thing that all of these creators have in common? Besides the fact that they're all millionaires and doing incredibly well, what is that number one thing? They never gave up. I know. I get it. But just think about it. Roll with me. Rhett and Link have been posting for 17 years. Even Mr. Beast has been posting for 11 years. And Mr. Beast's first viral video didn't happen until 2017. That was 5 years after he started posting consistently. What would have happened if he stopped after 1 year of creating content? What if he was just like, oh, this isn't worth it? He never stopped. You never know when you're one video away from going viral. And I think that's why these creators are on the top 50 list. They never gave up. They maneuvered through the changes of social media incredibly well, strategically, and blew up businesses that stood the test of time. There are obviously so many different ways to analyze this data that I couldn't even get into, but if you do like videos like this, let me know down in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up because I can absolutely make more videos providing detailed information about creators and more social media deep dives. If you're a usual Modern Millie viewer, this is completely not a video style that I would normally do, but I love making videos like this. I'm always super interested in analytics, data, deep dives. So again, give it a thumbs up if you're like, Millie, keep doing this kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. And of course, if you've made it this far and you're not already subscribed, hug the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss when I post my next video. I'll see you in the next one. Follow your joy. Bye.